10:30, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission of January 9th, 2019, being our first meeting of the year. And I'd like to ask Ms. Gloria Collier, please lead us in a pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to remind you to please turn down your cell phones. And now we have a ceremonial swearing in of the Board of Commissioners by our Attorney General, Mr. Jeff Landry. You want to say a few words first?
I'm a man of very few words. No, listen, it is my pleasure to be here today. I want to thank the port and the staff at the port. They've always been so hospitable. I've always enjoyed working with them. And it's just an honor for me to be here today with y'all. And certainly it's a brand new year. We're going to have a great year this year in Louisiana. I read the big article that we found another 1 billion barrels of oil, so they got to be good for us, right? We just get the price up a little bit. But no, thank y'all for being here today. And Mr. Parrott, I'll just start.
Yes.
Now, do we want to go in alphabetical order by districts?
Yeah.
Let's start with A.
Y'all kind of like the judges. You know, the judges, they number them. The difference is, as they come in, then you ain't got to start all the way in like at the end. That's right. So, all right.
All right.
Come on, family. Yeah. Come on.
You look familiar.
It's a good thing they look
No, he's on.
Okay. If you will raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Harris Chucky Sherman Jr.
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws of this state,
and the laws of this state,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge
discharge
and perform
and perform
all the duties incumbent on me
all the duties incumbent on me
as a member
as a member
of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
Division A,
Division A,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding,
and understanding,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. All right.
Gonna go B? Or you want
That'll
to
be
go
next, Mr.
B? Yes.
Perry. You will raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, state your name,
Harry Square,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws of this state,
and laws of this state,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent on
all the duties incumbent upon me
as a member
as a member
of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
Division B,
Division B,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding,
and understanding,
so help me
so
God.
help me God.
Congratulations.
Next.
Mr. Jimmy LaFont? We're not doing it in French, you. Funny. You want to raise your right hand?
The right one, yeah.
Right. Repeat after me. I
I, Jimmy Lafourche,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws of this state,
and the laws of this state,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent on me
all the duties incumbent on me
as a member
as a member
of the Greater Lafourche Board Commission,
of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
Division C,
Division C,
according to the best
according to the best
of my ability and understanding,
of my ability and understanding.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Man, it's like a family reunion. Let's see. Mr. Curtis?
No, Rodney.
Help me out. Everyone's in line.
ABC,
It's ABC.
big group. Don't squeeze in there. Don't squeeze in there.
All right, if you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
I, Rodney Just Blair,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws of this state,
and laws of this state,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon
all
me
the duties incumbent upon me
as a member
as a member
of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
Division D,
Division D,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding,
and understanding,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Curtis?
Oops, sorry.
Okay. You raise your right hand and repeat after me. I,
I,
Curtis,
Curtis J. Pierce,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws of this state,
and laws of this state,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as a member
as a member
of the Greater Lafourche, as a member of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
as a member of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
Division E,
Division CE,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding,
and understanding,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
I, Larry Griffin,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United
and
States
laws of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws of this
and
state,
the laws of this state,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and
and
impartially
impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as a member
as a member
of the Greater Lafourche Port
of
Commission,
the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
Division F,
Division F,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding,
and understanding,
so help me
so
God.
help me God.
Congratulations.
The week to the camera.
There you go, Larry. All right.
Raise your
I'm
right
the only
hand
one that
and
waved
repeat
to the
after me. I
I, John J. Melisone Jr.,
do solemnly swear swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws of this state,
and laws of this state,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as a member
as a member
of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
Division G,
Division G,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding,
and understanding,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
How about the gang up there?
As the crew.
All right,
Got a big crew.
Oh, yeah, good.
That's okay.
the new boys.
That's beautiful.
You can come closer. I don't mind. All right. Raise your right hand.
I, Charles Michael Calais,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws of this state,
and laws of this state,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as a member
as a member
of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
Division H, according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding,
and understanding.
so help me God.
So help me God. Excuse me.
One more.
Get around.
Before I do something, I gave you having to sit down when you're not doing. Not gonna cause a fight in the house, right? All right. So raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I, Chris Colley,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws of this state,
and laws of this state,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent on me
all the duties incumbent on me
as a member
as a member
of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission,
Division I,
Division I,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding,
and understanding.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, everyone has been sworn in, and again, I'd like to thank you all. I want to thank you what a pleasure it is to come down here, and what a pleasure it is to work with government officials and elected officials that actually know how to get things done. If I could take them all the way to the Baton Rouge, we'd be in a much better place. So, but again, then y'all would miss them, and it'd be a little tough to bring probably Chucky and Jim. But thank y'all again, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. All righty. First, I'd like to welcome all the commissioners. And we're all here for the right reason. And we're all here to move this great port forward. Next, we have roll call. Mr. Sheremy.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, we have Chucky Sherman, seat A, here. Seat B, Perry Gisclair.
Here.
Seat C, Jimmy Lafone.
Here.
Seat D, Rodney Gisclair.
Here.
Seat E, Curtis Pierce.
Here.
Seat F, Larry Griffin.
Here.
Seat G, John Mellison.
Here.
Seat H, Mike Colley.
Here.
Seat I, Chris Colley.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. President.
All right, this time,
Yeah, we'll go ahead and,
yes.
there's
Recognize
numerous
a few dignitaries.
dignitaries in the audience, so I wanted to take the opportunity to recognize those and thank you all for being here. We have Lafourche Parish Clerk of Court, Annette Fontana. Lafourche Parish Assessor, Wendy Thibodeau. Lafourche Parish Councilman, Daniel Lorraine. Lafourche Parish Councilwoman, Lucy Sposito. We have Golden Meadow Town Councilman Willis Toops. We have, from Senator Kennedy's office, Mary Ely Schlesinger. From Congressman Scalise's office, Matthew Jewell. And from Congressman Graves' office, David Cavell. And Ms. Kathy Stewart from Senator Cassidy's office is running late. She did text me that she was on her way, so I want to recognize that she is coming. Okay, so thank you all. Anyone that we missed?
Left out?
Yes, we left out
Oh, we left out,
Jennifer
eh?
Fauché with Christine Russell's
Ms.
office.
Christine Russell's office. Thank you, Jennifer. And we have two school board members that are here. Mr. Troy Dufresne. Mr. Robbie Gisclair. Thank you.
All righty, thank you very much, Executive Director. First thing I'd like to say is, I expect y'all all here next meeting also. I love the attendance. Okay, next we gotta go to approve the minutes of the December 12, 2018 regular meeting.
Move.
Moved by Mr. Mellison, second by Mr. Pierce. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Next is Executive Director's report. Mr. Chiasson.
Thank you, Mr. President. First is our northern expansion slip C, 1,671-foot east bulkhead, PCO and Associates. Joe.
Yes, Crosby Dredging is the contractor. This project is complete. We have a substantial completion done. Louisiana DOTD has approved the project, and we're waiting on a clear lien certificate to release the final retainage, which should be coming soon.
Any questions for Joe?
All right, and northern expansion slip C, 1,671-foot east sweep dredging project.
Yeah, this is the dredging project that accompanied the bulkhead project. Magnolia Dredge and Dock was the contractor. They were complete as of this past Friday. There are some punch list items. We do have a certificate of substantial completion on today's agenda for approval.
Okay.
Any other questions for Joe? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Minor Jeremy Senior Road Paving, Angelette Piciola. Mr. Larry Piciola.
Yes, the plans are complete. We're going to be submitting to facility planning for their approval. Once they get their approval, we'll go out for bids. We're hoping to take bids in March.
Okay. Any questions? Thank you.
All right. Airport projects. Davey, doing airport projects.
Ken? Airport operations, we have for this month 2,350 operations, passengers were 10,255, and vehicles were 17,121. And we do have our yearly totals. Operations were 29,967, passengers were 139,543, and vehicles actually 197,457, which is actually all over last year, so we actually did have a good year here.
I see Richard back there if you want to come step up. our airport manager. I didn't see him back there until he stood up.
I think Davey covered it. I just had a couple of notes here that the operations were up 3% in 2018. Passengers were up 22.9%, and the vehicles was up 100%. That's partially because of a counting issue, but we're looking at close to 200,000 vehicles. So.
Yeah. It shows the importance of the work that's taking place, that collaboration between the port and the parish in some that airport road work that's taking place as we speak, actually. It's really important. Okay, moving on to the airfield drainage improvements project.
Yeah, we don't have much of an update on that. Davey and I met with Heather a couple weeks ago and went through the different facets of the project, and we're working now with Loop and with Shell Pipeline, trying to identify how low their pipes are in certain areas so we can relocate some ditches. So that's kind of where we're at this point in time with that project.
Okay. And then the runway approach easement, RPZ.
Yeah, with the government shutdown, we're not going to get a response back from the FAA anytime soon. We're waiting back for a response for a questionnaire that we answered not too long ago. But so how long that's going to be is unknown at this point in time. But that's the next step in the process.
All right.
That's it, right?
Thank you, Richard.
All right.
Richard, leave your forwarding address with Heidi,
Right.
so I can send her the check.
That check,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
This is Richard's last meeting. His last day as our airport manager is actually Friday.
Friday.
So anyone interested, give me a call. Thank you, Richard, for all your work. Airport access road culvert improvements, PCO and Associates. Joe.
Yes, this is a new project. Byron Talbot, contractors at Thibodeau, was the low bidder. We issuing a notice to proceed to start this project on this coming Monday, the 14th of January. It'll be complete sometime in March. But there's going to be limited access, one-lane road for a while they're doing the project. But once it's done, it'll be very good.
Okay. Any questions? And then the LA 308 Airport Access Improvements, Lafourche Parish Government Run Project.
This is a Lafourche Parish project where we're widening the road a little bit and doing some drainage improvements, and then also doing turning lanes along 308. This project has been started since November. Beverly Construction is the contractor. They'll be done sometime in early March. Right now they're doing drainage work and excavation, so that one's also limiting access, but it'll improve access to the property for sure, and drainage.
Any question? Yeah, what's the completion date on this?
This one's March 11th, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Moving on to other projects. First is the Section 203 Feasibility Study, GIS Engineering. Dustin Marlborough.
Thank you, Mr. Chasson. Dustin Marlborough with GIS. Here to update you guys that our feasibility study in EIS is complete. All of the review comments that we've gotten in collaboration with the Corps, the federal agencies, and our IEPR have been incorporated, and we're now into the reproduction phase. We got word from Phil in DC. The ASA is requiring us to have 15 hard copies and 6 electronic CDs. So over the next week and a half, we'll be pulling together one main copy for Chet and I and those associated to go through to make sure that everything is actually there. And then we'll go into the reproduction and delivery at the end of this month when we take our trip to DC, I think the last week of the month.
So very, very large milestone for us. We've been working on this for 2.5, pushing 3 years.
Right at about 30 months.
So again, the 203 feasibility study is the report that needs to be done to get authorization, at least for us, is to 50-foot draft into Port Fourchon, which would completely change the landscape for the future of our port, for the future of our community. So we're very excited about this milestone, and now the real work for us begins. So it's going to be an exciting day when we turn that in at the end of the month in DC, for sure.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, LA1 Phase 2 Leeville Mitigation Dredge Project, Angelette Picciola, Mr. Larry.
Yes, and it is finally complete. This project was actually complete earlier in the spring, but there was some damage done to the marsh by the contractor. We've been working with DNR and ConocoPhillips, the landowner, to get it repaired. They finally repaired it. Next month, we'll have the lien-free certificate, and the final retainage will be due.
Any question?
And the Fouchon Island soil borings project.
Yes, the soil borings are complete. We're doing some preliminary engineering, and we'll be getting with the administration next week to start discussing some options.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, Mr. Lara.
Nerby Collins Marina Boat Lift Extension, J. Wayne Plaisance Engineers. John.
John Plaisance with J. Wayne Plaisance Inc. /GIS Engineering, since we have merged as of January 1st. Boat lift extension, you can see they've done a lot of work. We expect them to be finished in the next couple of weeks. The boat lift is in place and actually does work. So we're moving along.
Okay.
Any questions? Thank you, John.
Okay, the public boat launch bulkhead repairs.
The contractor is Plaisance Dragline. They have moved on site. All the awning is removed, and you can see he's working on the replacement of the bulkhead. There is some places on the east bulkhead that have bowed out on the existing bulkhead, so we're working on getting him to give us a price to replace those. So we'll come up next month with you for a change order on that, although we kind of expect them to be complete with that by then.
Okay.
Any questions? Thank you, John.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay. And then the, Dave, if you want to mention these, this little project that we just finished.
There's a couple of in-house projects we did. This was one, actually concrete encapsulated some older pilings. There were 48 of them, and this is just a quicker and easier way to encapsulate them in concrete, and it's for the walkways at the gravel boat ramps in Fouchon. And the other small project is getting ready to start. You can see there is some age on the material that was underneath that walkway. We had flagged it off in the new year funding. We are going to be replacing that. SBL signed the contract this week, and he'll be starting probably next week on that project.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Okay, the CCTV Slip B camera and equipment. April.
Okay. This project is currently underway. We have received all the equipment as of yesterday, and we're currently working through the MOUs with our tenants.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the Belpass structure repairs.
Belfast structure repair, we're going to receive quotes tomorrow. We're going to actually, there's going to replace the entire system on that Belfast structure. So the contractor's going to remove everything, and next month or so, April will be bidding the new equipment to be placed on.
Okay. All right. Before we move on to the next item, I just wanted to mention that on the screen there's a picture of, there's going to be an LA1 realignment at the in flood wall at the lock structure in Golden Meadow. That's a South Lafourche Levee District project. I just thought, it's important to notice that that project is going to be happening. I know just recently there was a fatal accident at that turn, and there's been numerous accidents there. So that's going to help to alleviate those issues there and actually have better flood protection for our community. So that's something that the South Lafourche Levee District is doing. So just want to mention that. Okay, moving on to an update from the LA1 Coalition. Henri Boulet.
Good morning, gentlemen. Construction of Segment E of the LA1 project, pictured above in Leeville, remains ahead of schedule. The contractor expects to have the project complete this fall, pending any unforeseen challenges. As Chet mentioned, over the next several months, the levee district will be raising the levee, and there'll be more information coming out later this month on how it will impact the public. The coalition continues to work on a strategy to amass the remaining needed funds of $340 million to build out Phase 2 of the project between Leeville and Golden Meadow. The coalition's executive committee recently met to update that strategy, which will involve state, federal, and private funds. And with support from Chet and industry members, I am working on implementing that strategy. And according to the fourth quarter of 2018's preliminary traffic counts on LA1, the counts were just a tad bit higher than the fourth quarter of 2017, which is good news for us. And lastly, the coalition welcomes Williams Company, Jackson Offshore Operators, and Cosmos Energy as new members of the LA1 coalition. Any questions?
Thank you, Henri.
Thank you, Henri. Okay, any public comment? Anyone from the audience have any comment to our projects? Okay, that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shelson. Next, we move into committee reports, and first is the Executive Committee, and members are Perry Gisclair, Chairman, Larry Griffin, Chucky Sherby, John Mellison Jr. First on the agenda is consider approving the Executive Director's contract.
Okay.
I'll move, Mr. President.
All right. Go ahead.
I'm going to move before you discuss. I move.
A second.
Moved by Mr. Sherby, second by Mr. Mellison. Any discussion?
Just wanted to mention before that this is a 6-year contract, the term of your office. So it began January 1st of this year, 2019, and go until either January 6th of 2025 or the date the newly elected Board of Commissioners takes office in 2025. The change that was requested on Monday night, changing from 90 days to 120 days of written notice, if I would happen to choose to want out of this contract, which I don't anticipate ever, that change has been made. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Any public comment? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Number two is...
If I talk any... Thank you. I take a lot of pride in the job that I do in working for you and for this staff. And if I talk any further, I'll probably cry because that's what I do. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Number two is consider approving the cooperative endeavor agreement with the South Louisiana Economic Council in support of Select, Restore, Retreat, and LA1 Coalition.
So as you're aware, for numerous years, we've been working with South Louisiana Economic Council, having a cooperative agreement with them to provide services for the LA1 Coalition and Restore Retreat. It's a total contract or agreement for $42,500. $10,000 goes to South Louisiana Economic Council for administrative purposes. $10,000 goes to Restore Retreat, and $22,500 goes to LA1 Coalition. Recommendation to approve.
I'll move. Moved by Mr. Gisclair, second by Mr. Pierce. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Next is consider approving West Shore-Based Services provision to stabilize shoreline on lease site GLF 621.
Move.
I'll move.
Moved by Mr. Griffin, second by Mr. Colley. Any discussion?
Bryce, you want to go through that?
Sure, we've been talking about this for some time. It's up on the monitor right now. This is West Shore-Based Services, a portion of their lease on Slip C. It's their obligation to build the bulkhead. These provisions, which would be a lease amendment, would actually establish milestones they have to meet in completing that bulkhead, or else we would go ahead and build it like we normally do. So the recommendation is to approve.
All right.
It was moved by Mr. Griffin.
All the motions have been made.
Yeah.
Yes.
Need to vote on it.
Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Next is consider approving the assignment request from Rotorcraft Leasing Company.
Okay, Rotorcraft Leasing is changing some ownership. So they need to assign the lease to the new ownership. So recommendation is to approve.
Moved by Mr. Colley, second by Mr. Lafourche. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Next is consider approving the request from Rotorcraft Leasing Company for a landlord waiver.
Okay, as part of the changing over of companies' ownership, this landlord waiver agreement needs to be done as well. Recommendation to approve.
Moved by Mr. Gisclair, second by Mr. Sheremy. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next, we move on to Permits and Waterways Committee. Members are Chucky Sheremy, Chairman, Larry Griffin, Perry Gisclair, and Curtis Pierce. Mr. Sheremy.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, we have Lafourche Parish Government. Proposed continuation of the parish dredge and marsh creation project initiated with the CIAP funding. Approximately 300,000 cubic yards will be excavated and placed in open water. Then we have Harvest Midstream. Proposed 6-inch line lowering of the BOA 3 pipeline. Approximately 763 cubic yards of native material will be excavated and placed on site via jetting. And that's all we have, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sheremy. Next, we move into Construction and Development Committee. Members are Larry Griffin, Chairman, Perry Gisclair, and Rodney Gisclair. Mr. Griffin.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, we have considered approving the lowest responsive bid for the 2019 fuel service.
Okay, we had 3 bidders for our fuel service, and the lowest bidder is Wagaspack Oil Company at 25.5 cents markup. Recommendation to approve.
Moved by Mr. Lafont, second by Mr. Gisclair. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next is consider approving the lowest responsive bid for the 2019 construction materials.
Okay, as always, we bid out 17 different items. We had 4 bidders. 3 of them had low bids. Grand Isle Shipyard, E&L Enterprises, and Byron E. Talbot. Recommendation to approve those 3 companies' low bids.
Moved by Mr. Griffin, second by Mr. Mike Collett. I guess I'm going to have to say the names.
We haven't seen problems with Gisclairs, Mr. President.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, next is consider adopting the DOTD resolution accepting the work for Slip C, 1,671 feet East Bulkhead project.
Okay, that project is complete as part of the DOTD Port Priority Program that helped fund this project. We have to do this resolution to submit. That was a total project cost for that bulkhead of $11,144,395.95. That was from DOTD Port Priority Program was $9,200,000, and we had the rest. So recommendation to approve this agreement.
Moved by Mr. Chris Collett, second by Mr. Mellison. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next is consider approving the substantial completion certificate from Magnolia Dredge and Dock for the Slip C 1,671 feet sweep dredging.
So this project is complete as well, and the recommendation is to approve the substantial completion certificate.
Moved by Mr. Pierce, second by Mr. Sheremy. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And that completes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. Griffin. Next, we move into Finance Committee. Members are John Mellison, Jr., Chairman, and Perry Gisclair. Mr. Mellison.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. President. We are going to consider approving payments of December 2018 invoices, and we're going to recognize those expenditures over $10,000. And today, if it's good, Mr. President, we'll waive the descriptions.
Yes, that's fine, as long as all the other commissioners are in favor, that's fine.
All righty, line item 1, Magnolia Dredge and Dock, $353,065.27. Item 2, GIS Engineering, $125,004.56. Gulf Island Services, LLC, $51,875.32. Item 4, SLEC, $42,500. Item 5, Plaisance Dragline and Dredge Company, $31,735.80. Vision Communication, $21,008.06. Grand Isle Shipyard, $20,937.12. Deep South Dock and Piling Restoration Number 8 at $19,200. 9 Pisciola and Associates, $12,425.84. Item 10, Duplantis Design Group, $11,365. Item 11, Bank of America, $10,738.76. And last, we have Zurich Technologies, $10,501.97. And that, along with our other expenditures, brings us to a total this month of $1,327,423.75. Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion we accept these expenditures.
Second. Moved by Mr. Melanson, second by Mr. Mike Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
And Mr. President, this concludes the financial report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Melanson. Next, we go into any other business.
Yes, Mr. President, I do have something I wanted to mention in terms of any other business. We do have a member of our staff that is retiring last day at the end of this month, and that is Harbor Police Chief John Colley with 15 and a half years of service to the Port Commission. We'd like to recognize him and bring him up. He's back there.
You'd like to say a few words? Yes, please.
Once I saw the results of the election and I saw all the colleagues on the board, I figured a third colleague would make this place sink, you know, so it was an easy decision. But no, truthfully, it was a hard decision to leave this place, and I'm turning my back to you because y'all pay me, but I work for all of you. And I really do appreciate it. It's been an honor and a privilege to have served you all these years, and thank you, and God bless all of you.
Thank you, John, for myself and all the board. Next is public comment. First off, I'd like to say that the invitation is still open. Next meeting for everyone here. We took names, so we expect the names to be back. But then again, I appreciate everyone for coming. I know the board does too. And it's always good to see the public involved. And again, thank you very much. Mr. Griffin.
I'd also like to, personally thank Mr. Jeff Landry for taking the time to come down here to swear us in. It was very, very nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No, okay. Any other public comment? All righty.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion we adjourn this meeting.
Move by Mr. Sherby, second by Mr. Lafourche. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Meeting is adjourned. Thank each and every one of you for coming.